Hello everybody, and welcome to another video of Wisconsin All-Star Wrestling. We are kind of in a groove here of trying to get that 70% overall rating. We're getting close. We're getting 64, 66, in the 60s. We just haven't gotten to that hump. And it's not like I want to upgrade my production or anything because I've hit it before. We just have to work our way back to doing it, but maybe it's because of, new storylines are happening, or it's just overall like the matches aren't producing like they should and everything else, which is kind of a bummer because then you would want, those matches to, evolve into something special and get that good rating. But overall, it's been kind of building blocks because of the tournaments and everything. But now the men contract tournament is over, basically. Tukawaru Sigawara won it, even though half of the guys I kept because I felt like they're special. They have a good, decent star power rating. We could use them for maybe a tag team or just something overall in general, having as building blocks and have many storylines, as you can see at the beginning as I scrolled up, that we have so many storylines happening right now, and I feel like the more I add to it, the more kind of population is going to tend to come to my show because I have so much happening, of whether it be they're going to be in a angle or they're going to be in a match. So it's like kind of everything's evolving within the show compared to if there's like one or two and then the rest of them are just like, so to speak, like gimmick matches or like jobber matches because they don't really mean anything, where these they're an active storyline and it's leading to something, whether it be a title match down the line or whether it be just overall a building piece. That's what kind of half of them are, kind of like building pieces and kind of just getting, the work of each other and seeing if they work together chemistry wise or if they don't, and just overall building the show to become better than obviously the other promotions, because we have quite a bit of promotions that are now in the game. And as you can see here, it's a whole different interface because there has been updates and everything, and I haven't changed anything. And this is kind of like how the base game looks like now. It was a different color, and now it's this color. So I haven't really fussed with it or changed anything. I kind of just went in, booked the show like I normally do, pre-book it, and started recording. So that way we can get right into the show and do it, and that's kind of about it. So we have a couple of promises that we see here. Kid Cruz, a title opportunity. Tukawaru Sigawara wants a push. I think it may be declined because he's already upper mid-card, and to just move him up to main event. But I think I might push him because eventually he's going to be a building block to go towards that title. Maybe not now, but in the future. And then Luister Aguila, he's been putting in work to have him do a push and stuff like that. So, and then a title win for Oscar Shaw. But, I mean, tag team-wise, they haven't won really much. Or gotten a tag team titles because the Athletes Central have been holding it since the beginning and no one's been able to beat them. So, and then obviously the contract expirations after 2023, but a lot of them I have had for 5 years down the road. But there's some of them that I did like 2 or 3 years, and then I'll eventually have to re-sign them. So, and we'll get right into simulating to the show dates. which will simulate to the 26th, and the only thing that will bug us is the emails if they pop up. Alright, so we got an email. We're all... To put Egon Morrison has been... We're all sick and tired of the push that Egon Morrison has been. You should reduce his push before... I'm rejecting that. Because he's actually been doing good. He's been winning. And the tag team matches that he has been winning, he's the one that's been pinning the person. So I am not going to reduce his push. I think they're mid-cards anyway, so it's not like they're going anywhere upwards in that regard. So that is something I am not accepting. It's been doing well for me. Now we have so many events going on. It's getting interesting on what's all happening, because as you can see, all those simulations. So we have, wow, the second Saturday has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've been getting decent ratings. They're not getting like nulls or anything, kind of what that was happening before, but with the developer, he's been or she, I can't really say, been tweaking things and everything else, so and updating things and everything, because there was an update just recently on like the 8th of June, and it was like bug fixing and all that other fun jazz. So yeah, they're not really getting nulls as they were before, and now everyone's having competition to become better and better. So that's what I like. Yeah, okay, I had a 6-month start, but eventually it's going to pick up and it's going to catch me in the long run. So it's not like, okay, yeah, I had a 6-month start. I had a 6-month start on losing money. That's literally all I had. So we'll go back to the office and we're going to simulate the next day. There's no emails. I don't need to scout anybody because legit, I have the people that I need. I just need to plan accordingly and use them, because if I need more people, it's kind of a not a really good thing, because I have 40 wrestlers, 2 referees, 4 backstage staff, meaning the owner, the booker, and then 2 other backstage staff people. Yeah, 40 wrestlers should be enough. 20 faces and 20 heels. Yeah, because I'm at 78 million right now, and it's not getting any cheaper. So like I said, I already have it booked and everything, so we're gonna start the show. Alright, to open up the show, we have decided to, because in a few events earlier on, the Money is Reality tag team was part of the stable with Zoe Matthews, Aubrey Wilder, Abby Perry, and they weren't really using them. They were going towards Anna Becker, Maria Jose Ferrari, and Janiyah Lindsay when she was with us. She's now an owner booker somewhere else, so Janiyah Lindsay is no longer with me, so it couldn't happen anymore. And so Riley McCarthy, that I signed for this every event championship match or tournament, also had kind of like a millionaire gimmick. So kind of taking them away from the stable of wanting power, and we're creating our own stable of, the millionaire gimmick and everything, and they have won the trio tag teams because Anna Becker and her tag team that was with her had them, but then since Janaya left, they were vacant. So now someone has the trio tag team titles at a 70 calculation, 78% match quality, and a true score of 67, but a final score of 48. So, star power, Zoe Matthews, intimidating presence of Abby. Zoe Matthews and Aubrey were struggling for breath. D'Angelo had a boost of their gimmick. Good looks of D'Angelo. Richards had a boost of her gimmick, and so did McCarthy. And then the intimidating presence of McCarthy, and she was struggling for breath. And D'Angelo did the heavy lifting in putting the match story together. Stage and camera quality has been the same. Yelphy, D'Angelo, and Richards and Riley McCarthy are the new women's trio tag team champions. They all gained 0.2. And then Abby Perry and Wilder lost 0.1, while Zoe Matthews has stayed the same. And so we'll move on to the next. And then we have Emmett Rozzi and Billy Clean. They are going to start a new storyline. So Emmett Rozzi cuts a promo on Billy Clean, kind of saying like, hey, I'm going after you. You're my guy. The star power and good looks of Emmett Rozzi. He has a badass gimmick, and Billy Clean has like a comedy character gimmick, so it'll be interesting. And giving it a 64% overall segment rating. Then we got a 68 with Van Dwan and James Atkins. They started their storyline last event, so Van Dwan Conte was kind of like fed up with losing to a guy of James Adkins that just signed, and James Adkins was attacked by Van Dwan Conte, and Van Dwan cuts a promo on James Adkins. So the star power of both of them added to the story beat. And then when he cut a promo, the arrogant gimmick of Van Dwan worked well, and the star power of both of them worked well to get a 68 overall. So we're on the right track. Yeah, okay, we had that 48%, but we had 64 and 68, so we're on the right track. And then we have this Laura Leone. Okay, so this was the championship match of our tournament that we've had going on, and Laura Leone is part of the Minnesota All-Star Wrestling that we partnered with. So the star power of Jordan Dorsey. The intimidating presence had it, but she was struggling for breath. The vocal crowd were in love with the segment. Stage camera quality stayed the same. Laura Leone is now the new women's every event champion. So she is every event champion, and she's also, if she still is, the Minnesota All-Star Wrestling champion as well. So she gained 0.2 in popularity. Jordan lost 0.1. It was a dud, 52%, with 85 calculation of crowd reaction, stuff like that. So I was hoping maybe Jordan would win it, but Laura Leone won it, so it was a dud. And now we move on to another, because I kind of did this one wrong, but Anyway, we'll go with it. I was kind of having Sugawara do a promo on Billy Killian James, but he attacked him. So, and that was kind of like the default one. 47%. It's kind of on me. They're starting a rivalry or a storyline, so to speak, as a building piece, because Sugawara is like 100% star power and everything. So they gained 0.2 in popularity. He has 100 in star power, so I was wanting to keep him and just going to put him in a segment as a building piece leading up to, maybe going after the All-Star Wrestling title. As of right now, it's Quadus and Matthias that are in a storyline, but Killian James was attacked and got a 47% rating. So it probably would have been better if it was a promo, but since the default when you kind of add an angle is getting attacked, but overall, because Tugawaru won the tournament, so it's like you didn't need to attack him, but it's kind of my fault on that situation. And we have Kid Cruz. One of his promises was to get a title opportunity, and better than not, give him a chance at the Every Event Championship with kind of, has a storyline, but the tag team titles they've gone after and stuff like that, and I want to kind of give a break on the tag team rivalry. They kind of did a singles, and then kind of keep Jaden and Javen Ibori in their storyline together. So Kid Cruz was struggling. His selling skill was good. Huge effort, explosive style. And Javen Ibori did the heavy lifting and putting the story match together. And yet he still won. Nothing really changed, and then working well with each other, or Kid Cruz helped everyone learn from the segment. It's got a 73%, 65% match quality, and then 67 true final score. But 48 final score on that. Then we have a Rain Grimes cuts a promo on Zoe Matthews. They started their storyline last event, and Rain Grimes won that match, and so she's kind of calling her out as like, hey, if you're the champion, why did you lose? And everything else. And so they both gained 0.2. Star power of Rain Grimes and good looks of Rain Grimes added to it, and the star power of Zoe Matthews added to the beat with a 65% rating. Then we have Anna Becker and Holly Chen. They're starting their rivalry and storyline, and Holly Chen wins. It's kind of like a building block. Holly Chen has a pretty good rating as well, and Anna Becker's been the main event, so kind of keeping Anna Becker kind of relevant and keeping her in a storyline per se, instead of, what they say is like shelving people or putting them in the back until they come back eventually. So star power of Anna Becker, and then she was struggling for breath. Holly Chen had a boost of her gimmick, the star power of Holly Chen, and then the intimidating presence of Holly Chen, and she was also struggling for breath. And then Holly Chen did the heavy lifting, gained 0.2 from it, and Anna Becker didn't lose anything. And then camera and stage quality with 67, 66, and a 62 with the final score of 45%. Then we had a promo on Alex Adams cutting a promo on Aaron Crosco. Alex Adams won last time, kind of just like, hey, I beat you. What's going on? Thought you were the main event person and everything else. And good looks of Alex Adams and star power of Aaron Crosco added to the story beat. So you gained 0.2 from it, 49%. And then we had a new champion. They've been going on for a little bit. And by aiming the steal of the show, the workers really upped in their in-game. Quadus had a boost of his gimmick. The star power of Quadus added to it. Matthias Langley had a boost of his gimmick. Star power of him added to it. The intimidating presence of Matthias added to it. And then the vocal crowd were in love with the segment. The reaction made it even better. Stage camera quality the same. Quadus didn't lose anything, but Matthias gained 0.2. They had 89% calculated and match quality of 89% with the 4.5 star and true score of 84 with the final score of 61. So we have a new champion of Matthias Langley, but this rivalry will not end there. Or storyline. It's kind of rivalry, storyline, same thing, but so they've been kind of building up to this, and now Matthias had a chance to get the title. He has now got the title, but Quadus is going to ask for a rematch. So, to say the least, it's not over yet. So we'll end it. Got a 62%, 0.3 gained. So we're still continuing with the constant 0.3. We'll see how many people went to the show. Hopefully it's a good amount of people. We got 2 emails. Oh, because we succeeded in the promise. We had 191, so it's kind of been the lowest of what we've had before. We made $2,000 within ticket sales. And then we succeeded in the Kid Cruz relationship. So we are going to... How many promotions? We'll do 2. Arizona's active. Alaska's active. They're active. I think Colorado's active. Connecticut is inactive, so we're going to make them active. And Montana active. So hopefully nobody leaves our promotion. And we will sim to the 1st of September. So we've had 2 emails. And it's James Adkins signing with Montana. Roster. Don't really need to shortlist him since we have him. Unless if we really can't change it. Oh, he's Minnesota and Pennsylvania. Chemistry-wise, Archon Delgado. He's been in quite a few matches. He's got 86, intimidating of 100, star power 86, wrestling skill 55, 99, entertainment. So, he's been in good percentages when it comes to our show and everything else. So we're gonna go to the office. We'll go to awards and rankings. So as of right now, we've gone through 8 shows. Claudius and Matthias of WASW of the live show in June, 69%. And then also them again for April. And then we've had the Athlete Central, Kings of the World, and Extreme Lunatics have done 67%. Jaden and Javen at 65% in May. And they did theirs in January, the first show of the year. January, females take over Money is Reality, and Maria Jose Ferrari and Lucia Alves, 64%. Then Jane and Javen, 63% March. Dana Rocha and Riley McCarthy, 62. That was in April. January, Steve Farmer and Takaharu Sugawara. Then we have Javen and Gabriel in June, 61%. And then Quadis and Mathai is 61% in August. So they've had better matches without the championship. Then Angle, 79% in February of Matthias. Probably doing a video angle. And then they're kind of star power of each other. And then Jaden, Javen, Zoe Matthews, Anna Becker, Isabella and Jordan, Killian James. That was kind of like a video because they were in the tournament. Stuff like that. Angle of our Sugawara. So the wrestler of the year, as of right now, it's Matthias, Riley MacArthur. I'll have to look. Maximus McKee. And it seems like Haley. Nixon Shepard, I was looking at him once, but he's had off or like on the court, off the court, but it's like out of the ring, so to speak, problems. So Brody McKenzie, Mateo Pennington, Quentin, Gerardo Perez, Maxim Cruz, Kid Cruz. How many people are there? 36 people. Sean Delgado. I mean, it's good that they have these people represented and stuff like that. Men's wrestler. I think I may look at Maximum Blackburn, and that's like all I would look at, because we don't need any more people, but it would just be nice to see on like what his stats are, and knowing that Maxim is just missing outside of the top 10, and Kate Cruz had 14. So, and Harley Bird, part of our tag team that we haven't been using much, but at least he's been able to make a word for himself outside of Wisconsin All-Star Wrestling. Women's wrestler Riley McCarthy, so, and Abby Perry, kind of the two people, and then Rain Grimes Aubrey. So within the top 5, or at least the top 6 who have dealt with Wisconsin All-Star Wrestling is in the top 6, which is pretty cool. And then 8. So top 8, there's 7 out of 8 people that have been. And then no promotion of the year yet. And then show. So we've had the best shows so far. And then California had a show score of 48 overall, so otherwise, yeah, we can go to 2022, 2021 and stuff. So overall, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of WASW. We've added now Montana and Connecticut, so there's been quite a few promotions now that are up and running. We're continuing to grow. Now we're at 4.5 rating for North America. And yeah, we're losing money. But in order to gain money, we gotta lose it. So finances, kind of again 626. but we have now kind of like staff wages. We have 2 unwritten contracts. Eventually, the like I mentioned earlier in videos, that Kid Cruz, Maxim Cruz, Butch Taylor, and I think those are the 3. They're going to be unwritten contracts at the end of this year. I want them to kind of build themselves up if they were to be signed somewhere else. I think Butch Taylor has not, but Maxim and Kid Cruz have. So when they're on written contracts, they are eliminated from everywhere else. So because I'm kind of trying to push them, kind of develop them, since we don't have child promotion, so to speak. So and I don't have the money to suffice for that, because then we'd be losing, instead of this 626, we're losing $1,626,000 per month, and we would not survive. So but our sponsorships have been going up. Now we're at $360 of sponsorships, and merchandise we're going up to $43. And then, like I've mentioned at the start of the year, we've started using, besides February, we've used the Next Level venue, and so we've been making double the amount per month besides this past one. Maybe it's kind of a building show. People are like, okay, where are these storylines going to happen? They're not really advertised or whatnot. So now we got trio tag teams implemented now that someone has them crowned. And I think kind of the reason that match didn't really go as well as planned is because it's 2 heel teams and not a heel and a face. So but everything else was kind of matched together. So we got those crowned. Eventually we'll implement them, but with So Matthews being in a storyline and everything, it kind of maybe throws it off a little bit. So we'll kind of look at those scores before end the video here. So Jaden and Javen got a 60%. Butch Louister kind of gave them a break because it didn't seem like it was doing too hot, so they're at a 59. Kid Cruz, Maxim Cruz, Sarah kind of gave them a break and gave Kid the title opportunity at a 51. Thias and Quadus, they're at a 71%. They've been going up and up. 61% on Rain and Zoe. And then James and Vendwan up to a 63. Aaron and Alex at a 49. Anna and Holly at a 45. Billy and Emmett 64 and 47. So they're at a decent heat, but in order to kind of do like a storyline like match or whatnot, it has to be at 80% and at least gone through 6 segments. So with Matthias and Quadus, they're getting up there. It's I don't think 6, it's like 5, but trying to build up to get that first one at 80% and stuff, and so I can use that storyline in like a gimmick match, so to speak, and that's what I'm kind of working on. So and especially with any of them, but if I feel like I can push them as much as possible, and it's already been, maybe past 8 segments, then I kind of like move on from it and try and find them someone else that they can mash with. So hopefully you appreciated this video, and hopefully you're having a great day, night, wherever you are watching this, and feel free to subscribe and like the video. That will help support my channel, and have a good one.